Hi there, my name is Alex Barton. I'm an undergraduate student at FSU. I study piano in the College of Music, and today I'd like to talk to you a bit about Ulysses K's Slumber Song. So, Ulysses K was a composer of the 20th century, born in 1917 and died towards the end of the 20th century, 1995. He was mostly known for his neoclassical works, though he did a little bit also of some more of what you would expect of 20th century, so that's 12-tone, verging towards atonal. He was African American, which initially was not a part of his identity in terms of when he was making music. He liked to say earlier on in his career that he just made music to make music. But by the end of his life, he made it very clear that his identity as an African American was crucial to his works. He wrote a lot for a wide range of different ensembles and instrumentations. That's orchestral, choral, and instrumental works. He also wrote 5 different operas, but he also wrote works for piano. And his larger works were performed all over the world, including by some very well-known ensembles and conductors like Leonard Bernstein, the New York Philharmonic, the Chicago Philharmonic, but a lot of his smaller works were and are still not as well known. So the piece I'll be talking about is Slumber Song. This is great for a elementary level student, and I like to describe it as quiet and atmospheric. The mood of the piece certainly fits the title. It's marked andantino, so not too fast, not too slow, and it's characterized by long melodies with very few jumps in the melody. Some of the pedagogical features include pedaling. So Ulysses K was very specific to notate each measure with pedaling and then say that each measure should be pedaled equally. He also says, though, that the student should be mindful of the mood and the character that the pedaling creates. So that's experimenting with full pedal versus half pedal versus quarter pedal. Even at this stage, he says it's very important. Additionally, there's some things that a younger student or a less experienced student might need to be aware of in terms of counting, because lots of the piece is offset by either an eighth note or a quarter note, and the lack of a strong, steady pulse makes for this dreamy, ethereal effect. Continuing, there's a good bit of dynamic contrast. So this is the last 3 systems of the piece. You'll see we have mezzo forte all the way down to pianissimo. So having that much of a range, especially as a less experienced student, as an elementary level student, can be quite a challenge. So in conclusion, the things that I think are especially important about this, and the things that a student can improve when working on this piece, is pedaling, counting the offset beats, dynamic contrast, and then additionally, there's 2-note slurs sprinkled throughout the accompaniment part. So I think that this would be a good way to improve the usage of the wrist, to create a more natural sound with core, while also maintaining that kind of quiet character. Additionally, each hand gets the melody, so voicing the right hand and then the left hand, depending on which hand has the melody, is certainly important and can be worked on. But that is all I have. Thank you very much.